What's up, guys? Thanks as always for supporting the show. It would mean a lot to me if you would take a second to scroll down and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of our videos. Also, make sure you follow us all over social media so you don't miss any of our content or show announcements. Celtics-Magic. This game went basically exactly as I expected it to. The Magic are the second best defense in basketball behind the Thunder. And they have a lot of guys who can switch and guard multiple positions. And so they can switch, contain, stay home, take away some of the catch and shoot looks, play Tatum and Brown into really high difficulty ISO basketball. They don't have the offense to be able to hang in this series, and we'll talk about that a little bit. But they have the defense too. If they can improve over the next couple of years, and if Jalen Suggs can get healthy and get back on the floor, that's a team that could present problems for Boston in the big picture if they can polish up things on offense. But they're just not close to that yet. They held Tatum and Brown to 33 points on 36 shots. That's great. But outside of a second quarter stretch where Paolo got really hot from three, a couple other guys hit some threes, the Magic failed to score 20 points in 3 of the 4 quarters. And that was really the difference. I thought Jrue Holiday was the defensive hero of the game. Coming out of the half, so Orlando goes on their big run right before the half. Then there's a couple mistakes. Paolo has a turnover that leads to a foul. They cut it to 1. But Orlando goes into the half up 1. They've got the momentum. Their bench is all excited. Jrue Holiday came out to start the second half and just started ball pressuring the hell out of Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero and just was messing those dudes up, forcing turnovers, forcing missed shots, running out the other way and hitting transition threes. Transition threes. You talk about it feeling like a shotgun blast to the chest. Imagine being on the other side of that. You're attacking a small in a mismatch. Next thing you know, that dude's taking the ball away and going the other way and hitting a 3. It just unbelievable, momentous plays from Jrue Holiday. And again, Jrue, in terms of just fundamental skill, is one of the best like rhythm or base attackers that I've ever seen from a perimeter defender. This is what makes him so good at guarding bigger players. I've talked about this all the time. Bigger players, especially shot makers, they don't see the hand in the face. They've practiced hitting shots with hands in their face their entire lives. What you can do though is you can bother their rhythm. There's an energy transfer. If you calculate it, it's like if you try to chain it all together, I should say, the handle connects to the footwork. And then when you get into the shot, that connects upwards in your energy transfer from the ground as you're jumping up through the release. And you chain all of that together through reps. You go in the gym and you just do all these reps, ball handling and shooting out of all these different bits of footwork. These post players, they're looking at, oh, you're attacking a small. I'm trying to bump you and get to my left shoulder hook or my right shoulder fade or whatever it is that they're trying to get through, or a step through move, something along those lines. And they practice those moves and they practice those moves and they practice those moves. And if you let them get to their footwork, they're going to make it. But if you can disrupt them, if you can stab at the basketball and disrupt the ball handling a little bit, if you can bump their base and disrupt the footwork a little bit, as they're jumping, if you lean on them a little bit so that they're losing a little bit of that balance as they go up into the shot, on their gather, if you swipe down and you deflect the ball a tiny bit, if you disrupt something along that chain, it will have a far greater effect on the end result than you just standing there and putting your hand up at the end after not disrupting anything else. And Jrue's just really, really good at that, stabbing at the ball, disrupting the base, being physical, jumping one side, then jumping all the way to the other side to try to catch a guy off guard. He did that a few times to Paolo and Franz today. Like, he just is an unbelievable size mismatch defender, and that was a huge weapon for Boston in the second half of this game. Derrick White brought the volume scoring for the Celtics today, and it came in the form of shot making. He had 7 threes, but most of them were high degree of difficulty threes, so like an extra step behind the line or against a great contest. And again, when you're playing against great defenses like the Orlando Magic in a high leverage situation like this, on many of your possessions, the best shot you can get is a mildly contested, slightly deeper 3. And like Derrick White provided that scoring pop today in a game where, again, when you're playing in games like that, games like the Rockets-Warriors series, 3s are like touchdowns. Like, they're literally like touchdowns because no one can score. And Derrick White just brought that today. I think this series is actually a great tune-up series for the Celtics. They're not in any real danger. I mean, I saw enough today to feel like Orlando can steal a game. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Orlando won a game, 93-87 down in Orlando in game 3 or game 4. But they don't have the firepower to win the series. But the Magic present real problems for the Celtics offense, and that will help them prepare for an OKC matchup should they meet in the finals. It's just great preparation for them. They just need to hope that Tatum's wrist is okay, but I think he's fine. But after the hard foul from KCP, it was just something to keep an eye on. And it was a shooting wrist, which can always be a little tricky when you need Tatum to be a shot maker for you.